Welcome back to the Goatworn Armcast. We are back with your weekly instalment of sodium-based conversation. As usual, myself, Goatworn Armband. We have Guthrum of Norvik. We have the Shire Reeve, and back after returning to a solid state after melting and evaporating last week, we have Just Eastern Things. So,
you said salt-based conversation. Is that like a carbon-based life form? Are we salt-based life forms?
yes.
Sodium. Let's be scientific about it.
Yeah. I am more salt than man. Lot's wife has nothing on me in terms of salt content. So, how's our week been? Obviously, last week was pretty unbearable for all us hairy dudes. And
it came out quite nicely in the final cut, though. I think it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it was a hot day.
It was tough going. It was so tough going that Just Eastern just couldn't do it. He was just a puddle.
I couldn't do it, lads. I'm so sorry, but I was just beyond it. The heat. I don't do good in the heat as is.
Yeah.
That's my horcrux.
A ginger
if we
in
ever
heat,
do the
eh?
live. Honestly, it fucks me, dude. Absolutely fucks me up, man. And I just couldn't do anything. It's been nice. I don't know where you guys are, but the weather's been like low 20s in Wales.
It's been a bit chiller. It's been a bit chiller, yeah.
Chilly. Oh,
chiller.
More chill.
More chill. It has rained a couple of times, but to be honest, I prefer the rain because it means I'm not boiling my ass off. I'm indoors anyway.
And so, aside from reconstituting yourself from a liquid state to a solid one, what have you been up to, Just Eastern?
I went to MMA today, and I figured out that I can kick fags out of people's mouths. So I can kick really high, but my legs hurt quite a bit from kicking so high.
Do you need a stepladder to achieve that?
Nah, man, but I have challenged somebody to a Hell in a Cell match, just waiting on it coming back.
Oh, what does that involve?
You never watch wrestling?
A bit, yeah.
Man, just go back and watch wrestling. You'll see.
Okay.
Hell in a Cell. It's phenomenal. That's all I'm saying about that.
So we've got Just Eastern in a cage fight, presumably with some angry mammal that has been trapped.
Now, Goatworn Armband will not be the only one with a chair.
There's literally two of them. Just getting ridiculous. There's two of them.
Okay, so now I've just got this image of my goat-one-eyed just Eastern Things pile driving an angry badger.
I really like the sound of that. That sounds very funny.
Now, Guthrum, I hear you've had a rather interesting delivery this week. Want to tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, the sex toy.
Yeah, the sex toy.
Fucking hell.
Did you get a fist delivered?
No.
He was asking for a bit of help.
Let me get his quote. Where are we? I believe the quote on his post was, "It took a bit of bodging to get it in, but it fits."
Was that the Slushmaster 5000 with drip tray collection?
Oh, calm it down.
Gotta have that drip tray collection. Otherwise,
The Drildo.
Right, what it actually was for those... So what it actually was for those sensible enough to listen... Well, let's be honest, no one listening to this is particularly sensible. It is what's called a surface table.
anything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
This thing is 2 foot by 2 foot by 980 millimeters off the floor.
So the similar dimensions to Just Decent Things.
Oh dear, I'm going to have to be quick now, aren't I? Because you people keep fucking interrupting.
I'm just going to quickly mute the Shire Reeve to stop him interrupting.
Basically, it is a big cast iron table which the top is machined to a high tolerance. So it's very useful for marking out sheet metal work, which in my case will be useful for doing things like washers, buckle plates, all that lovely stuff that I normally do over lunchtime at college. But obviously with COVID, I've not been at college and be able to do that. So I'm starting to kit up my own garage.
Oh, awesome. No, that's really cool that you've managed to get your sex bench into your house and you can carry on with your perversions. So
Activities,
yeah.
For fuck's sake, I just told you it was going on at college.
Isn't that what that's for?
I think what was particularly funny was we referenced that he put this as a post on Facebook, and instantly about 3 or 4 of his mates, including the Shire Reeve and including my Jarl, jumped on and said, "So when's your sex toy arriving?" and started getting quite graphic. Now your mum has you on Facebook, doesn't she?
Yes, my mum has it set up so she actually gets a notification whenever I post on that page. So she saw it all instantly. Luckily, the first post, I don't believe she saw anything untoward. I actually had to tell her afterwards. I thought she'd find it quite funny. But the second one, I have a feeling she saw.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, you don't have it as bad as one of the members of my group who, during a Discord kind of video meeting we all had earlier during lockdown, his mum decided to crash the stream and kind of join in. And of course, I started just casually flirting, and
of course you would.
This continued in our D&D sessions, where she came in just after a shower, just told us all that she was only in a towel, having just gotten out of the shower, and we continued the conversation as it were.
Hell.
So now the thing is,
Mind if I have a link to that just for like?
Are you going to be his stepdaddy? No.
Yeah, he now knows that he's got to train hard and behave and not mess around in camp, or else Goatworn will bang his mum.
Oh dear.
Anyway, so I've just about recovered from my
MILF adventures.
Doing an impression of a drained radiator. Because one night over the weekend, I woke up in the middle of the night and Midgard fell out from under my arse. Yeah, with the lightest of pushes, it just all went south. So, but I'm feeling much better now, as you can probably tell.
The two usually tend to correlate, I find.
Yeah, I don't have to be very, double check a cough.
Yeah.
So that's nice. So no complaints from me. Now, Mr. Shire Reeve, I believe that you. Yeah. Did you like Mister there?
I mean, it didn't really factor into my analysis of the situation.
Yes, you have opened up your own little page now, haven't you?
Yeah.
Are you challenging me, mortal?
Nah, not really. I don't know. Everyone else here had a page. I thought I'd make one. I'm not really. I don't really have I didn't really have a theme, so I just I saw a page recently. I think it was called something like weightlifters against. That's right. Weightlifters against OnlyFans or something like that.
One of those
just one of these satire ones, yeah. So I thought it'd be kind of funny if I did a similar thing of High Reeves against tax dodgers or tax avoiders or something. I don't know. Tells you how much I really. But I've got a load of posts queued, about 18 posts queued, I think, for the next 3 weeks or something. And I'll be posting intermittently with that, and then we'll see how it goes. But I've accrued quite a few likes, thankfully, from Anglo-Saxon Burr posting and your own endorsement, if that's the word.
Yeah,
I shout you out too.
Honestly, I
said I shouted you out too.
Yes, you did. Sorry. Yes, that was very kind of you.
Yeah. The thing is like we put a lot of trust in you, because obviously now we've endorsed you, and if you go off and then post horrifically racist white supremacist material.
Well, you see, everyone who is my friend knows I am definitely a racist and a white supremacist.
Yeah, supporter here.
Yeah, and I'm definitely not just posting shit like peasants pay your taxes and
that's how it starts, Alex.
Oh, is being a hierarchical member of society that pervades all existence, a gateway into being a fascist.
Yes.
Yes. Especially if we start criticizing you on your art.
Oof.
I don't really do art though. Let's be honest.
No. I've laughed at the stuff so
far. Thank you. Also, I think you criticizing my art would be a bit of a glass house situation.
Oh! Oof! I'll have you know, I spend a whole 5
I'm
minutes
just messing.
on each...
I love you. I love your art. It's beautiful.
I think
I felt the pain in that oof.
The highest compliment I think I've been paid on my art is somebody said it's the Dilbert of reenactment.
The what?
The Dilbert. If you've ever seen those like little comics that used to be in like newspapers.
Yeah.
What, like a Viz style?
Yeah, kind of like that. Like your Peanuts and but it was it used to be like a 4 or 5 panel thing that appeared in most newspapers.
Yeah, that's similar to how Viz is.
Obviously, Viz is like a dirty Beano.
Yeah, but not always. I mean, it's kind of like a dirty political Beano, I guess.
Yeah, with Buster Gonads and his unfeasibly large testicles was one that I fondly remember.
So dirty Beano.
What's the other one? Oh lordy, it's the fat slags.
So what you're saying is it's a dirty Beano?
Yeah, it's a dirty Beano. It's exactly the same art style as well, which I think is great.
Yeah, I think it's more like the old Beano art style, like because it comes from the same generation. It's I think of it closest to something like Woolly.
Yeah.
Or the Bruins. If you've ever heard of those, I wouldn't be surprised if you haven't. They are Scottish and heavily in Scottish slang. But they were reading material for me when I visited my my auntie when I was young. So I kind of grew up on Woolly and the Bruins.
With your page,
yeah.
So you say you got some lined up and scheduled. Are you doing it every day? Are you doing it twice a week? What's
I've got one scheduled today for midday, and then I'm gonna try and post other stuff in the meantime. But it means I've got something posted if I don't.
Because obviously I post like Tuesdays and Fridays as best I can with the occasional extra thrown in.
I'll see how it goes. I have also one of my friends who shall not be named. Bearing in mind, without me having any say in this, created another page called something like Peasants Against Taxes.
Yeah, I saw that one.
And now he's started definitely real and not fake beef with me.
That's hilarious. I love that. I actually read an altercation, in air quotes, an altercation between you two while I was around visiting my grans the other day. And I laughed out loud, and I had to explain to my gran, who's in her 80s, what was funny.
Nice.
About a guy who dresses as a Shire Reeve arguing online with someone who's pretending to be a peasant about fake taxes.
Yeah, the page is called Peasants Against Taxation. Actually,
is that the page up like in challenge of you?
Yeah, exactly.
I did laugh at that quite a bit.
I'll tell you boys who made it after this, so don't ruin the surprise. But or anonymity or whatever.
Yeah.
But it gave me a good old chuckle.
See, now I'm expecting like
raps against each other. Like,
yeah, but like or we've got our evil opposites now. So we'll have Guthrum of Suffolk.
We'll yes, yeah.
Just Western things.
No.
If I have just Western things, I will challenge him to a quickening like Highlander. There can be only one.
It would be.
And then we'll have
yeah, that's it.
What was it? What was it? A certain unnamed individual called you again? Goatworn? Was it
Goatworm?
Troutworn Spout Band.
Oh, that was another one. Yeah, that was good. Troutworn Spout Band.
Yeah, and there's a chap on who keeps like commenting because he'd always gotten the name wrong, and now he won't stop doing it.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking of.
Let me get some examples because he was really funny.
One thing I'm trying to think of what the exact opposite would be, though. I'm thinking, what's the opposite of a goat?
Sheep.
No.
Dog.
Sheep. Sheep dropped leg. Sheep dropped leg chain.
I think it would just have to be the same thing, just with sheep and leg. So sheep worn leg band.
Yes, that would work. Yeah, I like that. For everyone listening, definitely don't do it.
That was it. Earthworm Toe Jam.
I used to love Earthworm Jim.
Yeah,
on the subject of earthworms, that is.
Oh, here we go. The chap's called Nate, and he says, prior to coming to the stage, I kept hearing about it and no idea what was going on. I also couldn't remember the name, so I called it all sorts of stuff, like Girthworm Bandcamp.
It's a bit like that whole Benedict Cumberbatch thing, where it was like
Grimfrost Oatmeal, and Boatswain Farm Stand.
Nate's a nice guy. He's also got some quite nice kit as well. I think he's across the pond, but I can't remember.
Well, maybe he should come on the show and just continually mispronounce all our names the entire evening.
Oh, man. That would be an oof.
Just be like, oh, so higher Rove.
Low Road.
Yeah, so Gotham of Northampton.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, no, that's cool. Always support people doing their, I know Just Eastern took a few leaves out of my book, and then took it to the nth degree and started getting, like, kind of more in people's faces about it.
Fight me, bruh.
Yeah, see me in the ring.
No, that's Cal, that's Cal.
I'd love that. That's why I had the joke with that guy the other day when he was saying on about you just behind. I was like, bro, come on, podcast. Like, come on. Like, if you're going to say stuff, like, back it up.
Yeah. I love that, like, he singled you out to go, like, oh, show me your face and then see who's laughing then. But there was, like, hundreds of people clowning on him.
Yeah. I just put a picture of Just Eastern's page photo, which is just like the Nordic yes meme, but his face, which it is basically him.
It is pretty spot on. Like, when we did our do you guys get on even though you're part of like different groups? Yes. But so pages and stuff aside, I thought we'd take a little like sidetrack because obviously we do reenactment, we shitpost. But what hobbies do we do outside of reenactment? I thought we'd kind of see what kind of overlaps there are in terms of what we get up to in our downtime. Because I know the last few months we've not actually been able to do much in the way of reenactment, if at all. So we've probably all been getting on with all our other hobbies.
I don't have many hobbies that like don't involve contact or like close being with people. And like because I do airsoft and Warhammer as well as some main hobbies. PC gaming as well, but that isn't like a major one for me anymore. I just don't have the time. So yeah, mostly just like to do with Warhammer and Airsoft. Airsoft is one I enjoy, but the problem with it is it's always going to be second to reenactment. So if I'm away at a reenactment, I can't go to an Airsoft game. But it's good for when I'm not at reenactment events. Something to do at the weekend.
What about you, Guthrum? I know you get up to quite a lot of blacksmithing and dicking around with metal.
Yeah, I do that as my job. So yeah, I do.
So what do you do to unwind? What's your perfect Sunday evening, Guthrum of Norfolk?
My perfect Sunday evening involves catching up on sleep. Yeah, honestly, that's it. I'll watch fucking Netflix or something like that. Practically everything I do outside of work is reenactment related at this point. Like I do my 3D modelling, which is my 3D shop, or for Hammerheart, which we discussed previously.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's a lot more quiet nowadays because Bennett's just quietly plugging away.
Yeah, he's cracking on with it. Bennett's also, as a little update, he is I don't know if we'll be able to put this in or not, but I'll say it anyway. He's applying for a job currently with a major games developer, and he's got a test thing for it. So that's taken up a lot of his time as well. And we on the team all wish him a lot of luck with it because like it's a really big gig if he gets it.
Yeah, of course.
And so we're all in his corner with that, but it does mean obviously Hammerheart doesn't get as much of a look in at the moment, but it's still being plugged away at. He's hoping to have don't quote me on this, but he's hoping to have he called it a prologue, but it's basically a demo out within the next couple of months.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
I tell you what would be nice is that if that being the case, once that's been released, we kind of follow up on him with it and have a follow-up conversation.
I think that'd be nice.
Having him on before.
Yeah.
That's cool, Guthrum. What about you, Just Eastern? I know you do a little bit of airsoft as well.
Yeah, so my hobbies kind of outside of reenactment. Oh, apologies about that. My hobbies outside of reenactment are kind of varied a lot. So past like 2 years prior to kind of coronavirus, I was really into getting into gym and back into boxing and Muay Thai, BJJ, as well as reenactment. I'm going to be honest that obviously, like we shared it a couple months ago, like with the baby on the way now, I'm kind of pulling back on reenactment, I think, a little bit, for maybe a year or two.
Sure.
So I suspect I'm going to fall more into it. The airsoft, I haven't actually had a chance to go yet.
Yeah, I know you. We had live on stream, as it were. You getting
Streaming.
a pressure can to the face.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's about the gist of my experience
yes.
airsoft at the moment. But like, I do want to do it. I've been purchasing kit like slowly but surely. I've got the kind of quote unquote operator look I'm going to go for.
Yeah.
But I haven't dived into it yet. I like to get. I don't like to do things like solo a lot. I like to do things with other people.
Yeah,
and,
I mean,
go on, man.
Oh, sorry. With myself, I found that in airsoft, I went on my own to begin with, but I made a lot of friends very quickly. And that was like with regulars at the club and stuff, where I go, it's in the site, and that is really nice because where I go, there's a core of people that are regular that are really, really good dudes.
Yeah,
And,
I think when I
helps.
go, I have no doubt I'll probably find some people like that. It's just at the moment because I haven't really got any contacts. I'm not gonna lie, boys. I felt a little bit weird getting into a hobby where I don't know anybody. You know, Warhammer. I've heard a couple of you guys mention that. Then I used to do a lot of Warhammer. I thought about picking it up again due to kind of our and the additional Roman discussions that happen. I swear daily.
Yeah.
But every single time I look at it, I'm like, no, I'm not going to go down that route. I've
It's
got a
just
couple
so
boxes.
expensive.
Yeah.
And with
yeah.
the baby on the way, I really don't blame you at all.
Yeah, so we're looking to move to a Roman place actually really soon. I won't share the name, obviously, but I'm looking forward to that. And I think the next quote-unquote hobby I'll be picking up is probably going to be the Roman stuff with us, you know?
Yeah. That'd be
But
good.
just Batiatus things or just Jupiter's cock things or something, I don't know. But I'm really looking forward to that.
I am too. I think that's going to be really fun. I think we're
Yeah,
going to laugh.
I must admit, I've dialed back on the Warhammer thing, mostly because I've moved about 3 times, and each time I've moved, I've either had less room for it, or I just needed money to pay for the move, as it were.
Today I've been packing a 6,000 point army for my move.
It's a dick ache, isn't it?
It's all the fucking vehicles, and then like all the individual dudes, and also all my painting kit and so on. I will send a picture to our private group chat, but like, it's been hectic.
Yeah.
And...
See, what I've been doing is to kind of compensate is I've been focusing on painting up some board games that I had, so Space Crusade, Hero Quest, and the expansions.
I must admit, I am jealous of your copy of Space Crusade.
Oh yeah, I sent you pics, didn't I?
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
Yeah, honestly, I've got a real love for the classic minis. There's a lot of character in them. But yeah, I've just been doing loads of small projects. So I've got a Rogue Trader Tyrannid collection I'm slowly adding bits to month by month, which currently consists... I've gotten the really difficult bits out the way because I got some real lucky finds on eBay, being the Zote and the Genestealer Patriarch, the old metal running...
Zotes are so funky.
I love that there's a plastic one now for Blackstone Fortress, and I've got to pick that
I
up.
haven't noticed that. Is that in one of the expansions?
Yeah.
I would when we do a meetup, I would love to play Blackstone Fortress or something with you guys. That'd be good fun.
You're in luck because I'm currently painting my way through the main set.
Nice. Okay.
Because like I say, I've been doing smaller collections, so I've got the Rogue Trader collection, as I said, a couple of the Night Vault box sets, the Zarbags Git and Moloch the Troll. I've always had a soft spot for of all the like kind of unique creations on Games Workshop side. Night Goblins and Squigs are just my hands down favourite invention of theirs.
I have a board game I'll have to bring when we see each other. It's called Tyrants of the Underdark, and it's based in the D&D universe, but it's like a deck building strategy board game, and it's really fun. You have like a starter like big set of cards that everyone basically buys from, and then you have to build like a deck, and there are loads of different ways to win in it, like shit tons, and there are different decks that I want to pick up at some point, but they're like £8 a pack, and I've got other things to spend the money on at the moment.
For sure. Well, that's part of the reason I bought my inspiration for getting Blackstone Fortress. I've wanted it for ages, and I finally got like loads of discount vouchers to use at a third-party store, so I got it for almost nothing. But it's a board game, which obviously loads of people can play. There's pretty much a Chaos Army all in one go in there of Traitor Guard and a couple of Marines. And it also provides me 80 to 90% of the miniatures I need for my 40k campaign, like a roleplay campaign I've been planning.
Yes, they'd be perfect for roleplay figures because they have the individual heroic aspect to them. Yeah.
So I don't know if any of you guys are into kind of D&D and roleplay. I know Just Easton mentioned that he'd been part of a session last night where something funny happened with blood, you were saying?
Yeah, no, I do a lot of, and I fell into it because I've never been a fan of the role play aspect. I never thought I'd ever enjoy it. But I started back in like March or whenever I remember I mentioned it a couple podcasts ago. I started getting into Grand Theft Auto Online, I think on 5M, which is custom servers, and the majority of them are role play. And yeah, we got into a fight with a load of guys last night, and this homeless guy come out of a broken bottle, fucking shanked someone. But he's on the floor, but like he got shanked in the face, if that makes sense. So like he had the role play like being like maybe cut in the throat or something.
Yeah.
So we're all on the floor, we're like, oh, I'm fucking injured, I'm gonna fuck you up afterwards. And he just types out, there's bloob everywhere. I'm bloobing out. And like, man, there's just 6 of us broke character and we're fucking wetting ourselves on the fucking floor. Because just this text and this bum going, and there's just bloob everywhere. I sent him a little text earlier on because he's got like mobile phones in the server. I was like, yo, dude, that was amazing. Like, pop by sometime and, we'll give you some money or something because that was just fucking so funny.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I've never gotten into D&D. I've never tried it, man. I see a lot of funny stuff on this subreddit, and I enjoy the D&D memes, but I've never actually looked into it too much.
Yeah, I must admit, I've my first experience was a game hosted by a friend who used like Sagas of Iceland and an Arthurian set, like rule set, to simulate. The rule set simulates your growth as a knight, but he used Sagas of Iceland to make it more about a Celtic tribe. So yeah, it was more about like kind of Iron Age Brit setting with a bit of magic and myth. That was good fun. Then I hosted a couple of Pathfinder setting sessions, and they were really good fun actually. Ended up having them finish the campaign by fighting a Tarask in a dwarven made, like, basically Megazord. And when they realized what, like, they'd gathered these boxes, they'd gathered these keys, and it all started assembling in front of them when they all activated them. And I started playing the Power Rangers theme on a soundboard. And the look on their faces was a mix of, this is kind of cool, but damn, man, that reference.
We're planning the DM is planning a campaign at the moment for a Pathfinder campaign, and we've got a group together. I think we got a couple of extra members that we're going to get, but what we're going to do, obviously, classic. Have a character session and get going, and then we're gonna sort of have it as D&D in the day, finish up, and then get smashed, or alternatively start to get smashed during the D&D. Yeah, it should be good fun.
Drunk D&D sounds hilarious.
Yeah,
we've. I turned up to my most recent session. I'm actually playing, which is a nice change from DMing. There is a DM's curse, is that once you DM it, you find it very hard to get in as a player.
I've heard this as well.
Yeah. But it was, I tell you what, it was VE Day. So I'd had a barbecue, I'd had drinks with the neighbours, obviously socially distanced, of course, drinks with my mum, so I was already a bit shit-faced by the time I managed to jump on and log in, and I was about 10 minutes late, which they knew about, of course. So I kind of typed in, like, on Roll20, you've got the whisper to your DM. I said, look, I'm ready to go. When do you want to introduce me? He goes, oh, they're in the tavern whenever you like. So you've got your bunch of adventurers all with kind of sitting in all corners of the room, brooding, nursing their various serious backstories.
Like that scene from the Prancing Pony. And
yeah. And then there's a knock at, the double doors swing open, and there stands in the doorway a frog folk in pots and pans and a massive fucking sword, who blinks one eye at a time and then plaps his way over. Like, you know that meme about imagine if frogs ran instead of
Yes.
yeah,
Plop, 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 plop.
he does that up to the bar, slaps a fish on the table, winks at the barman, and expects him to like know what to do.
Beautiful.
Having loads of fun with Serbergurgle.
So a couple of times, I've done one shots at events with the DM as Mr. Toby Dones. Those are fantastic fun. But I love to fuck with him. So which is obviously like the DM's biggest like thing. But basically, all the characters I've had as part of those one shots have been a bit strange. Like I had one that was I made the character and then I couldn't think of a name, so I just called him Dark Jeff. And he always
highly racist.
Is it? I mean, dark as in yeah. And he always spoke in third person. And then another one I did was a character who's a charlatan called Jesus, who tried to persuade people that he was the Messiah.
Oh no!
But in the end, it turned out that he was worse at persuading people he was the Messiah than other people were that he'd persuaded what he was the Messiah at persuading people he was the Messiah.
Okay, take that from the top.
You basically Life of Brian'd him.
Yes. So like, I mean, but in a way that like my character wanted people to believe he was the Messiah, but like he was so shit at it, and the one guy he did manage to persuade was better at it than he was.
Give me a one quick second. Carry on amongst yourselves.
Cricket noises.
Yeah.
This is Goatworn guy. What a loser, am I right?
Yeah. Fucking schlag.
Slut!
Says you, multitasking.
I am sitting here just fucking pure sweating.
I'm sat here trying to work out the fuck a Roman.
I'll tell you what, I'll send you a picture of me. You see multitasking. I'm completely focused on you guys unless I need to run out the front of the clubhouse. 1 minute.
So my brother's just left. He's down from Bristol.
Oh, nice. Did he have a nice time?
Yeah. He was kind of he's down all week, but he's obviously I'm only going to see him possibly today and then end of the week. So I was just saying, being polite.
Yeah. So he's heading out, and then that's fair.
Well, yeah. So where did we get up to? You were talking about your Life of Brian.
I just finished, yeah. But yeah, I always do a character like that when Toby's DMing, just to really annoy him a little bit.
My mum brought back some really lovely salted caramel chocolate from.
How salty though? Like,
very salty.
Is it as salty as the time we posted the meme of the sharp axe on my page? or is it just as salty as making a spear out of meteorite?
I'll tell you what.
Alan, what kind of level of
Sky Metal Brothers?
If meteorite is 10 and the sharp axe is also 10, where do you lie in that?
So I would say if I were to market a salt goat salt chalk band or whatever, I think this would be marketed to my probably to the average fan. I would say this wouldn't, I wouldn't consider it my special reserve would be the salt levels you're Where you open the bag of chocolate, there's just lumps of dairy milk in a bag of salts. That would be the level you're describing.
Pure salty, mate. Then I get it.
Yeah. It's just caramel, Cadbury's cream eggs, but just full of salt.
Alternatively, they didn't understand that they needed to caramelize sugar and just tried to caramelize salt instead.
That's actually quite a novel idea. Start giving out fucking. How many sugars do you take? 2, mate.
Just as a PSA, salt does not caramelize. Do not try.
Doesn't it explode if you do random stuff?
It just burns.
No. It doesn't even burn. Not normally. Like I distinctly remember doing a science experiment, and I'd previously seen salt melt in the case of heat treatment processes, and so I was dead determined I was going to melt this fucking salt, and I actually melted the test tube before I melted the salt. It just kind of goes hard. It forms into a lump, and I just see this glass.
When salt melts is when we get wholesome moments in our private chat. That's when salt melts.
Yes, yeah. That's when we become sweet and sugary. Yes. Talking of foods, have you seen this about? They found the world's oldest cheese in an Egyptian tomb, along with the world's oldest bread has been found in a prehistoric site in Jordan, and someone, I think somewhere else, in an Irish bog, they found a 2,000-year-old lump of butter. So between the three, we can make an ancient grilled cheese.
Oh, and if you include the coprolite, you have the whole start to finish.
Like
first diarrhea. You just have to take it one step too far, didn't you?
Yeah. Little did we know that that's actually what made you ill.
Yeah. I partook of the forbidden toasty.
What was it they call it? Experimental archaeology.
Yeah. To be honest,
you've got viruses in you don't even know exist.
Yeah. Oh look, you've got COVID's Rex. To be honest, if I was at an age where I wasn't too concerned about, knocking a couple of years off my health, I'd be down to be in that experiment of, the millennial toast.
The millennial crunch.
Avocados, is it? Fucking turns out he's making way too much money in his podcast. We need to start charging to be guests. Grace you with our presence.
What was I said to Alex the other day? Your payment is your continued existence.
You're paying in exposure.
I started using that pond meme I posted on my personal page the other day. I don't know if you guys all seen it.
Yes.
But I was in the gym tonight.
Reminds me.
I'll link it. Yeah.
Yes, that one. Yeah.
So
I personally, I'm 90% sure he speaks Welsh and hates the English.
Probably. I was in the gym tonight. I just blurted out that I will not only destroy you with my kick, I will make it so you don't even exist. The poor guy barely speaks English. I felt really bad, and I could see this just genuine curse of worry on him. I was like, "Nah, mate, I'm only joking. Let's have a good time." And then I proceeded to kick him in the head. But I mean, that was what training was for.
What happens when new reenactors come to drink with Goatworn Armband and the league?
Don't talk to us about authenticity. We'll make it so it doesn't even exist. We will bend Woofer out of time. Well, literally, it's like we've done that with the Free War Bands of England, boys.
It's like the hand from JoJo where you can just erase space.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Woofer. Zip.
Bringing it back to Warhammer very briefly, or maybe not, as the case may be. Do you reckon there should be a Goatworn Armband Space Marine chapter?
Yes.
Goatworn Armband strategy battle game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. if I had the means to print miniatures, there would already be one.
Let's talk about what each person's model would
yeah.
their special. So let's go with you first. So we're going to choose one. The three of us are going to choose your power.
Okay,
how does that sound?
Yeah, sure.
You're going to have to explain to me what you're actually on about.
So, like, in Warhammer, special characters tend to have, like, a unique ability assigned to them.
Right.
So, like, there's a Grey Knight in Warhammer
special rules.
40,000 who has when he gets killed, you roll a dice. If you get, I think it's over the dice, it's been so long, like, you can get him back to normal, okay? So, like, what would Goatworn Armband special power be?
Something salt-related.
My special
I was thinking.
I think it would be. I think it would be an extra like profile shooting attack where he just spits salt.
Pocket salt.
Like he just yes, exactly.
Before you turn, roll a dice. If you get a 6, Goatworm gets an extra attack.
And on a 6 it does like extra mortal wounds.
Chance to critically injure those with small brains.
Yeah.
Yeah, if your initiative is like 1 or 2, it does extra damage.
All right. You happy with that one?
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously, gonna be armed with a power axe.
A special weapon called Fuckbring. Oh
yeah, literally. I can think of the model of the Grey Knight. If it's 40,000, I know I always reference Grey Knights, but there's a two-handed, front-ended spear they've got. So you just take the top of that off, bog on a bloody axe, big two-handed axe. That's you.
Nice.
Bit of green putty, you sorted, I think.
Of course, if I was a space wolf, it would be called Wolfbringer. And then it would be Wolfband Arm Wolf.
Ross is going to listen back to this and he's just going to cry.
Oh yeah, he's a Ross player, isn't he?
He's a big he's not a fan of the whole wolf thing from what I gather.
Instead of like if you do a wolf, instead of like your chapter like Primarch being called like Russ, it's just Rob. That's Rob the Primarch.
Rob
the Primarch. Yeah. What about Gothram? What would he have? What's his special ability?
He's got to be a tech marine, surely.
Or alternatively, something like Vulcan with his hammer.
Yes.
What I was going to say was an extra
or
attack
Ferrus
when I just
Manus.
sling my hammer.
Yeah, that would work.
Like Arjak, the that Space Wolf one.
Yeah, speaking
think so,
Dutch
yeah.
Yeah, I reckon he should have Master of the Forge, and he just repairs vehicles.
Yeah.
Which is the closest thing we can have to repairing weapons for people on the field.
I see. Yeah, I like the sound of that.
And it's just his model's just this really grumpy looking dude with a power hammer, sat on a bench.
Yeah, and you got to give him a dodgy leg.
Yes, his movement is reduced by 1.
He's got like a Mad Max style brace.
Yes.
Witness me!
Bionic, like the Iron Hands.
Oh, yeah, that works, yeah.
Cool. Okay, so Guthrum's an Iron Hands Marine. That works out nicely.
You do realise I'm now going to go off and buy one of these and actually...
Yes.
I challenge the audience to create the league and send us pictures.
Oh, yeah, if there's any miniature, hobbyists with green stuff and time on their hands, if you want to make either Space Marine versions of us, Warhammer Fantasy version, Goblin versions of us, or Orc versions would be quite funny.
That'd be good.
Goat War armband.
Oh,
fuck.
I actually used to collect Warhammer Fantasy.
I may actually have a lot of spare. I have a lot of
months.
especially Space Marine bits left over, so I may be able to do something.
What about me then? What are you guys throwing at me?
Well, you need a fuck off spear. We know that much.
He's got a rattling.
Surely. Oh no! I've got it. He's like rattling sized, but he's in a big mech suit.
Oh, he's in that.
And like like Avatar style, he just beats the shit out of people.
That new Primaris, the baby bouncer thing.
You'd have to show me that. I've not seen it.
Yeah, we'll put up.
I think I know what you mean. Yeah.
This is amazingly nerdy, by the way.
And he just runs around beating the shit out of people.
Yeah,
with two large fists.
I think because we've got the dwarf thing going. Failing that, I would say a squat.
Yeah, of course. Like
that's
I feel like that's the low hanging fruit answer.
It is the low hanging fruit, but I've got to make it because who else will?
Yeah.
I think you think too much of our audience.
Yeah, fair enough. Special rules. He can hit you from further away, so he can consolidate into combat before everyone else.
I mean, you could use me to throw you guys at the enemy. It'd be like a literal trebuchet mounted on my back.
I was thinking that we use you as a little stepping stone.
Fuck you. You remember I mentioned the wrestling earlier on? I'm so looking forward to our meetup.
Honestly, I'm so down for that. I'm not one to shy away from the repercussions. But yeah, that sounds legit. What chapter would he be? I feel like angry is kind of very Space Wolf.
Yeah.
I mean,
everybody paints me as a Space Wolf. I main Dark Angels, which seems to be a shocker to a majority of people.
But are there any ginger Dark Angels?
Lionel Johnson was either ginger or blonde, according to a couple of books.
I think he was blonde.
Yeah. Also, the best fucking Primarch by far. Just very.
He
very
is pretty sick. He's very Angevin Knight style, heraldry.
Goatworn the podcast now turning into Warhammer podcast.
Hey,
I'm actually sort of down for that.
Yeah.
This is a podcast about Viking.
I know. There's a massive Venn diagram of it in the fan base. Anyway,
the Venn diagram is almost a circle between Viking age, reenactors in general, and Warhammer players of both fantasy and 40k.
Never done fantasy. Never done fantasy ever.
I have an AOS army, but it's sat in my cupboard for over a year. So
yeah. So we haven't done Shire Reeve yet.
I've had a think about this. Now I don't know.
You can't do it yourself.
Yeah.
Can I make a suggestion?
No.
You've got to hear ours first.
Okay.
You know what it reminds me of? A fucking Ultramarine.
All
that stuff. All that. No. He's not here. He's not here at the moment. I say that because they're always the ones out going after the law. Declaring law and doing all that stuff.
Oh no! I would be an Arbites.
Oh, no, was okay. I think it's Arbites.
I think it depends on
or Arbites. Arbites.
Arbites.
Basically, the Judge Dredd ripoffs.
Yes.
Yeah. I think your special rule is an easy one. Is that it's just called interjects, and before anyone else gets to fight, regardless of initiative order, you jump in.
That's just harsh, man.
But where's the lie, though, Alex?
I know, that's just harsh, man.
Was that a bit too close to the truth?
That was a bit too real.
Oh.
See, I was thinking of the box, which it steals. It has nanobots that go and steal all the precious metal within a certain radius.
He should roll, and because he's got all that tax money on a certain roll, he can bring in additional reinforcements or tax the enemy.
Yeah,
lowering their initiative.
Just call it bring in the feared or something.
Yeah. Or you tax them for their command points, so they get less to use in the
turn. Yeah, that'd be good. So if they use it, if they use a command point, I do a roll, and on a certain number, they have to use double the amount of command points to
Yeah,
that
that's a good one.
You've lost me again.
Don't worry, Guthrum. We'll put pretty pictures to help you along.
Yay.
But yeah, I honestly, I joked about it before, but I'd love to see an unofficial Goatworn Armband Space Marine chapter. Like with everyone who's just a fan of the page, just listed as a a brother. Oh no, I know what that'll sound like now.
You want to join the chapter? Become a
Brother!
Patreon.
Brother!
No,
Yeah,
not the Colts. Not the
Avenge me,
Colts.
brother! Avenge me, brother!
Brother, avenge me! Yeah.
Who farted?
Flash kits. Oh, it's okay. We're. Oh no! Don't take it to heart. Oh no! I didn't mean to laugh. I was trying to find a heart react and a sad one.
I don't
No,
laugh.
I know you guys don't get like mad about it, but I do try not to interrupt when.
It's cool. It's cool.
I decided upon really deep meditation that Shire's Roman name is Interruptius.
Well, yeah, but the thing is,
Interruptius.
yours is going to be Minimus.
Minimus Maximus. Just like, is he big? Is he small? And it looks like I've literally like I've got like a box for a ball.
Oh no! What's the word for? Oh fuck! I'm trying to. They should call you like tall or something in Latin, and then it turns out like a bit like calling a really big guy tiny.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like chunk or something.
Mm.
Oh, it's getting a bit late for old Guthrum.
Oh.
Well, we've reached an hour, so I think we
we'll get onto the FARB next. I'll just
Yes.
segue in. So yeah, so those of you at home who are also fans of Warhammer, yay or nay on a Space Marine chapter. Let's see how that goes. I'm kind of keen to actually dig out my bits box and make some League Marines.
League Marines, that's great.
And just pose them.
Is that like the
marching
Kriegsmarine?
Primus.
Yeah,
Sorry?
that's what I was getting at.
Is that like the Kriegsmarine?
Nice Sabaton reference. Good made.
No, it was just a reference to the Germans during the
Yes,
World
I know
Wars.
that, and I was trying to keep away from that, so I made a Sabaton reference instead.
Yeah.
You say that. You know
both
the jokes we
shots.
made. Yeah, like the jokes we made last week. Come on.
Yeah, fair enough. So let's have a little wrap up and look at our FARB of the week. What do we got for us? Let's have a look.
Who's that Pokemon?
Yeah, who's that Pokemon? It's Pikachu.
Pikachu!
Pika Pika.
Where
No.
have we got it? In podcast contents.
Well,
Oh my. Oh dear.
Off the bat, I'm gonna go through things on his belt. 2 metal axe rings, one being used for a sword. Again, another chrome tanned modern belt. A pouch the pouch on the left actually looks okay, but I can't see the closure or anything. The knife has a riveted handle, and the sheath is the wrong way up and studded on the belts, it seems. On the straps.
let's have a look. Hang on. Yeah, it's a bit of a dodgy photo, the original.
Yes, I've got it blown up on my second monitor, so I can see that the handle is riveted.
Aye, alright.
The gloves are all right. I mean, they're one of the better options for gloves if you don't want to go down the route of like work gloves that are dyed. I don't know what that leather thing on the right of his hip is. I think it's a another axe loop.
How many loops do you need, man? You're gonna get
Yeah.
caught.
Yeah, it's strange.
Bad enough having pockets and getting caught on bloody door handles. Imagine having literal loops hanging off you.
Yes, it does seem a bit strange, and especially when you don't have something in it.
Look at it and like, I'm like, why? but why? Like, so like, all jokes aside, I've seen worse. I have seen.
I think we all have.
Yeah. I mean, I can see he's doing some stuff that he's obviously gone right on for. Like, he's trying to go down that route. But a sword and a hoop. People tell me and about these swords, these hoop things with a sword, and it's like, oh, but the Vikings would have had it. Okay, whatever. Disregard that argument completely, okay? Because that's going to put us off on a tangent. But why would you have a loose, sharp sword in a hoop?
Yeah. It's going to cut you, it's going to cut others, and when you draw it, it's going to dull it.
Yeah. So I never understand that. I always think personally, no matter what, a scabbard looks very nice for a sword anyway. Even a really basic one, floppy or solid.
I know I've said this before, but in period, now, of course, labour is what costs, meaning that a scabbard on some occasions can cost as much as a sword. However, back then, the cost of a scabbard is nothing even comparable to the cost of the sword. So, if you had a sword, you had a scabbard. And I obviously it's cheaper now just to get a bit of leather with a bit of metal as a loop. But that wasn't the case back then, and practicality wise makes no sense. If you have a blunt sword, I would ask every one of these people that carries these in these loops to substitute it with a sharp and tell me that over the course of time they have no problems.
Yeah. So when you pointed out that this isn't as bad as some, but we all had the same reaction of, oh god, because there seems to be an uncanny valley with reenactment where the more things you get right, the worse the wrong
more things
bits
change,
look.
the more they stay the same, kind of thing. Yeah,
sort of. But if you were to look at some of our previous ones where everything is wrong, it's so easy, and it's almost less offensive because so much is wrong you could never mistake it for the real thing.
and I
There's
think
a
a lot of them, it's very much passive observer thing. Like anyone could tell you with a basic understanding of the Viking Age that's wrong.
Yeah. Because it is closer, like, he's got the right sort of mail. At a distance, that belt looks okay, but obviously we know that that's probably a modern one. He's got the leg wraps. The shoes look inoffensive. The trousers look okay. The tunic is a blue, which, a light blue, which is kind of matches the status of having a sword and mail and helm. I wouldn't even have that much of a problem with the helmet, but because those bits are sort of getting towards being more, as Just Easton puts, cock on. Sorry, let me retract that. As Guthrum would put it, cock on. The bits that are really wrong stand out all the more. So, like having the sword, and I don't even think that's a Viking Age sword. There's something off about the quillion.
I believe it's one of the Just Easton would know more about these than me, but I think it's one of the ones you see sold a lot for Eastern combat, where it's kind of Viking sword shaped.
Looks like don't quote me on this. I think it's a Viking Emporium sword. I think that's the sort I'm thinking of. So the swords are actually pretty good for both Eastern and Western. They're probably better for Western and Eastern because they're actually really light. Which is good for Eastern. There's a fucking whole argument for that shite. But for the price of that sword, you could have a relatively
armor class
scabbard. Or no, I think they're like 120.
Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, but you get a Fabry for that. Or
yeah, there's a lot of things you can get, but look at them. They don't know that. But
Yeah.
I can see like he's. I don't know if it's on purpose or if it's not, but it looks like he's actively tried to do something to be I'm a little bit better off. But by doing so, he's not. He's like, if you could rank like 0 to 5, 5 being like Wolfodinus, I don't know, 1 being like my early kit was because it was awful.
He's a 2 stroking 3.
Yeah, I mean, we'll give him the things earlier on, but I can see he's on his way. It's just whether or not he thinks this is his top end or not.
Yeah,
I mean, the thing, I don't know if it's the picture or not, but the trousers look like tartan.
Yeah,
I think
they did have a pattern on them.
Yeah, okay.
I think they're just check. And from the size of it, I'd actually say that seems to be within some of the patterns we find. So I think they might be all right. But
Depends what you're portraying, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, for sure.
This you can't pin it to anything. His chamber looks split at the sides. He's like, yeah. You guys have mentioned it all. Like I can't think of what he's trying to portray, and I think that's.
I would comfortably put him as a Saxon.
It is very generic.
You know, it's No,
I would. Ideally, if it provided he knew his shit, which I'm not confident he does, I would comfortably put him as a Saxon due to the helmet, the large sacks, the Winningas. The sword is of a generic type. He's a Saxon.
I'm not convinced enough that he knows what he's trying to be to say that.
Yeah,
but that's being incredibly generous.
Yeah. Something I'm noticing now, past the obvious, is the fur-lined insert on his shield boss. But he's also got a strap that goes in the wrong place.
Yeah, he's put his merkin in the wrong place.
I was about to make that merkin joke, you son of a...
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
It's not fast enough. Just not fast enough.
Well, he has got a gimp leg, give him that.
Yeah.
Did you just call Tom a gimp?
I think
we
did talk about his sex toys he bought earlier.
That's true. That's true. Okay, I take it back. Guthrum is a gimp.
So, what are we scoring this?
Oh.
Go on, Guthrum. Get in there first.
Yeah, for once, Alex. I'm going to give him... He's made an all right effort, as you guys have described. It could be a whole lot worse. He's on the way, and in that vein, I think I'm going to give him. I'm going to give him 2 out of 5 turns on some shoddily done leg wraps.
Just decent things.
I'm back
working down the list. Go. What's your score?
You know what? I'm going to give him a 6 out of 10 because I can see this potential, and I'm hoping. I'm giving him a graceful good. I'm hoping that he's doing the right thing. He's trying to put himself in, but I don't know. Like 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10 Tostitos.
Go on, Alex.
On the leg wraps that Tom mentioned, I don't think they're badly done. What I think the problem is I think they're cheap and they're not woven properly. I think they're just cut out of material, which means that when you try and tie them, they won't stretch in the same way leg wraps should, which means they won't tie properly. As it goes, I think he's actually done an all right job of dealing with that kind of bad leg wrap, but they're always going to be far from ideal. I would give him a 5 or a 6 out of 10 merkins on a shield. Yeah, I'd agree pretty much with what Just Decent Things is saying. I think he's trying, and I think sometimes that is the most important thing.
I would give him 5 cups of yeast out of a selection of ingredients for mead, because on its own, pretty guff, but over time, potential to improve the flavour. Was that a half-hearted clap in the background? Or was that just someone dropping something?
It might have been me mucking around with a bloody belt. Fucking thing.
Now.
Is this part of your sex stuff?
Language, Timothy.
I'll go to smack you silly when we.
What, with one of your belts?
Well, you know, he's never felt the touch of a real woman. So
You can't just at him like that.
I really don't give a fuck. I'm too tired for this shit.
I will ask you whether you want me to leave that one in at a further date.
Whether you'd like to be like Ross and leave it in.
Oof. Yeah, go on, leave it in.
All
right. Well, thank you for joining in for a rather relaxed and casual chat about our hobbies.
I liked it. It was chill.
Yeah. Hopefully, we can see some Goatworn Astartes in the coming weeks. I'd be totally down for that. So, in the meantime, it has been another salty session with myself, Goatworn Armband, Guthrum of Norvik, Just Eastern Things, and
Salt!
You ruined a perfect intro. Although I can't really talk.
Outro.
I've done that so many times.
Outro.
Sorry, outro, yeah.
And the Shire Reeve.
I wish I was that funny.
See you next week.
Bye, guys.
Alright, cheerio.
Bye bye.